Hey everyone, it's Ariel. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how you can do a really simple, really basic wash and style. And of course I have my lovely guest who still doesn't have a name, but here she is. She definitely needs her hair washed, so that's what we're going to do. I'm going to quickly go and give her a shampoo and condition, and then I'll come back here and do a little style on her for you guys.
So here I am just putting her in my bathroom sink and I'm just rinsing her hair all over, just getting it nice and wet. And then for shampoo, I'm just using this Shea Moisture Manuka Honey and Yogurt shampoo. This just happened to be what I had on hand. So I'm just putting a pretty generous amount in my hand and then just kind of massaging it into her hair, making sure I'm getting it nice and sudsy, nice and clean. And obviously this is a little bit different than how you would do it on your own head, but just go ahead and shampoo your hair as you normally would. So once the shampoo is out, I'm just giving it a nice good rinse, making sure I'm getting all of that shampoo out. We don't want anything left over. And then going in with conditioner, I'm just using this Ren Pure Coconut and Vitamin E conditioner. Again, just what I happen to have on hand. And then just kind of focusing that mainly on the ends, which is really where it needs it. It doesn't really need it at the root. And then just rinsing it out once and for all with cooler water this time, squeezing out the excess and then wrapping her head in a towel to soak up some of that moisture. Make sure she can see. And now we are good to go.
Alright guys, I'm back with my mannequin here. I just shampooed and conditioned her hair, and then I also detangled it, which I did a separate video because I wanted to do a Tip Tuesday video on how to properly detangle your hair. So I will leave a link to that video somewhere here if you want to see it. But for now, we are going to do a style. I did put some leave-in conditioner in her hair, this Aveda Diamond Remedy Daily Hair Repair one. It's my favorite. So that is already in her hair, and I don't think I'm gonna put any more product in her hair for now because we're just doing a really simple blow dry anyway, and I don't want to load her hair up with too much product. So yeah, I think the leave-in conditioner should be good enough for today. So I'm going to be doing a basic blow dry with a round brush. So this is the round brush I'm using. It's just a basic round brush. It's pretty large. This is my blow dryer. This is the Rusk CTC dryer. You can get this on Amazon, so I'll definitely leave a link to this in the description. It has a few different settings on it, but I'm going to use it on warm high because that's my favorite setting. I'm going to have to do a voiceover over this because you're not going to be able to hear me. Before I start, I want to section her hair. So the trick with blow drying when you're using a round brush is to make your sections about the same size as your brush. You can even take it and kind of measure like that, and in this particular case it comes to about here. So that's about the size of section I'm going to use. And now all this hair I'm just going to clip away. I'm going to break this into two sections, so I'm going to split it right down the middle, and I'm going to start on this side.
And just like I thought, there was no way I was going to be able to explain what I was doing over the sound of this blow dryer, so here I am again with the voiceover. But basically what I'm doing is just taking the section, pulling it slightly upwards, and then going in with the brush. And as you can see, I'm kind of focusing on the root half first because I want to make sure that first half is dry before I go into the ends, and that just helps you get a better result. So going in with that brush, drying that first half first, and then I go into the second half, the end half. And then once that end half is dry, I go back over the whole section, and I'd say at about the halfway point, I give the brush just one or two twirls just to put a little bit of a curl in. And then at the very end, I just kind of blast the heat on the way down right before I pull it out.
So that's the first section done. So I'm just going to give her like the slightest little curl on the ends, just barely a curl, but just something to make it a little bit more exciting instead of just doing it straight. But yeah, that's the first section, and I'm going to move on to the next one.
It also helps to rough dry your hair a little bit with your fingers before you go in with the round brush, because it'll draw out some of the excess moisture and it'll just make the rest of the process go a lot faster and a lot easier.
Now, something I do want to tell you guys is when you're blow drying like this, just to avoid any like weird lines or like separating sections, if that makes sense, you always want to stagger the sections. So like here I split it in the middle, and now for this one I'm going to split it right over top of that one, so kind of like brick sectioning. Does that make sense? I hope it does. So that when this one dries, it's going to lay it right over top of that little split, even though it probably won't be there, but just in case, so we won't have any weird like holes or anything.
So now I'm just going back in with the same technique for the crown area, and the reason why I'm pulling it straight up rather than straight out or down is to just create a little bit more volume, and it's especially important for this crown area where a lot of people struggle with volume, and it just looks a little bit more flattering if you have more volume in that crown and root area. And that is pretty much it. So now I'm just going around doing those exact same techniques, drawing the first half first, then the end, and making sure I'm putting that little bit of a curl in there, and that is pretty much it.
Last section. So before I do this last section, this is where you would want to really define your part. So I'm going to take my wide tooth comb here using the tip, and I'm just going to make a better part, just so that we don't end up with a super messy part at the end. There. Okay, you guys, so I've blow dried her whole head. It's all dry. I'm actually going to break up these curls a little bit. I'm just going to run my fingers through ever so slightly. Okay, so I think that is done. I think she looks good. So it's just a simple blow dry. She doesn't have like a ton of volume, with a little bit of curl on the end. So that brings us to the end of this little wash and style video. I really hope you liked it. I really hope you found this video helpful. If you did like the video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!